Cause we can back it up. Humble. Good morning. Good morning. It's Good New Method Monday, guys. That's my mood today. I feel very like I am a woman, hear me roar. Like, no, ladies, y'all don't ever have that them days where you feel like I am a woman, hear me roar. So when you have your I am a woman, hear me roar moments, who else do you play but Beyonce? Like me. So that's my mood today. I'm definitely all the way B. But I hope the Beehive don't attack me when I upload this to YouTube and claim some rights. You know, it's got a big ego. Like if you love Beyonce. It's too much to walk like this, cause we can back it up. What? Just want to let this rock. Why? Facebook lets people know I'm live for like 10 more seconds, and I'm gonna get into my spiel, my New Method Monday inspirational video, cause this is the best part. Okay, I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna turn it off now. That's my intro. I walk like. Shout out to my ladies who got big egos, even though we know she was talking about something else in that song. But hey guys, what's up? I hope everybody's Monday is going well and everybody had a great Thanksgiving week. I had an amazing Thanksgiving with family. I could not stop laughing. Shout out to my wonderful, beautiful cousin who I love to life. I don't like saying love to death, but I love to life. She knows who she is, and she designed this fabulous shawl that I'm wearing, coat that I'm wearing. But hey everybody, so today is New Method Mondays, and if you're not familiar, every Monday I hop on here and I share something to either help you grow in personal development, building your faith, or birthing your dreams and living in your vision. I am founder and CEO of personal development organization Embrace Her Legacy, and what I do is I empower and educate and inspire millennial women and girls to really give birth to your dreams, grow in your faith, and achieve that purpose-driven legacy. And I do that through motivational speaking, personal development programs and workshops and all that jazz. So I've been getting a good feedback on these New Method Mondays. A lot of people hit me up, oh, that was good and right on time. So I just want to continue doing that, and I want to share real quick on one main ingredient that we all need to add to our success recipe. Now, the reason why I do New Method Mondays is because a lot of us are doing old things and we're doing it repeatedly, and wondering why we're not seeing different results. Sometimes you got to hit remix, you got to hit the remix button, and you got to do things a little differently. You got to think differently. You got to apply different principles. You got to, have a different course of action, not necessarily changing the goal, but changing the strategy to get there, right? So the one main ingredient of success that I think all of us need to add, and I think is low key something that we look part of, and what happens is if you ask people this question, like, what is the equation to success? A lot of people, depending on who you ask, will tell you different, from waking up early to having an education to working hard to perseverance. But there's one thing that we all need and we all miss over it. And if you miss over this, you're going to end up on the hamster wheel of life. And what I mean by the hamster wheel of life is like you moving, but you going nowhere fast, and I know a lot of y'all know what I mean. You get up, go to work, do the same thing, go to lunch, hate your coworkers, go out to happy hour, complain, do it over and do it over again, and do nothing, and nothing changes, and a year goes by, and another year goes by, you hanging out with the same people, doing the same thing, making the same money, no progress. You just moving. You on that hamster wheel of life where you're moving really fast, but you're not going anywhere. Because we all want to be successful. Everybody says, I want success. And what success to you may be different for what success to me is. And I always emphasize that because we let the world define what success is. But success is really achieving a worthy goal and fulfilling your life's assignments and having that joy and having that peace and feeling like you are fulfilled where you are and you're achieving the goal that you feel that you need to achieve, whatever it is. Like a success to one woman may be, being at home, raising her kids and raising her kids to be productive members of the society. And another woman's success level may be, becoming a CEO and getting a corner office. Another woman's success may be, becoming a teacher. whatever it is, everyone's success level everyone's definition of success is different. But the one thing that we all need to add to success, and the reason why a lot of us end up on that hamster wheel of life where we are moving pretty fast and we are going nowhere, is because we lack specificity. And this word gives me a problem, so I'm going to say being specific. When you are not specific with what you want, what you desire, then you are it's kind of like getting dressed up, like with nowhere to go. Don't you hate when that happens? Don't you hate when you have a dope new outfit and you have nowhere to wear it to? That's what happens when you say, I want to be successful, or I want to get out of my mess, whatever the thing is, and you're not specific about it, okay? When you're not so specific about it, you can't create an effective plan to help you achieve what you want to achieve. For example, I will not get in a car and say I'm going nowhere and just drive. You need a destination. When you get in your car and you're driving, you need somewhere to go, and you figure out the road or the way to get there. Even if it's a place you've never been before. If you go somewhere never been before, let's say you're going on a road trip somewhere, you're going to plug the address in your GPS system in your phone, and you're going to create the action plan to get here. But that's because you put a destination in your GPS. You know where you're going. When you're not specific and you lack specificity on where you want to go and what you want to do and what success means to you, you can now just get on the hamster wheel, because you're going to keep going nowhere fast. What happens when you do that is a lot of us let life happen to us. A lot of us are places where we don't want to be, and some of those seasons, you can't control. God is ultimately in control of the transition in your season. However, you are in partnership with God. So if you are working towards your goals, if you are clear and specific, working on a specific goal, not just letting life happen to you, then it's only a matter of time, baby. You better start praising the Lord when you will see your dreams come to pass. But a lot of us are letting life happen to us. And coming now that I'm older and I've seen life from a different angle, I noticed that most people, they get to a certain age, around 30, and now we want to get serious in life. So anybody in here who hasn't hit 30 yet, I suggest you start getting serious now. But what happens is we just start taking job after job. We just start okay, I'll make money. We start just settling, because it's I just need to make some money and I just need a job. No, you were not created to have a job. You were created you have a purpose. You have an assignment. You have everything inside of you that you need to achieve the life that you were created to have. I refuse to believe that my parents bust their tail, came from another country, didn't know the language, and now I'm just going to keep on doing the same thing that they were doing. No, we have access to the resources to create the life that we desire, and we don't have to wait 99 years to get it. So a lot of us settle. A lot of us say, okay, I'm just going to get to my dreams next year. I'm going to do it next month. Oh, I got the kids now. And no, the kids are going to grow. They're going to grow, and they're going to leave. They're going to be like, Mom, bye, peace. They're going to go, shoot some hoops. They're gonna go, once they're in 18 years, they're gonna be in their own little world. And how can we tell our children and our nieces, our nephews, all of them to pursue their dreams when we're not doing it? How can I look at another kid and say, oh yeah, you can be everything you want to be, and I didn't do it? That's not setting a good example. So what happens is we get trapped. We get into okay, I'm just gonna do this for now. I'm just going to take a break on my dreams for now. Let me tell you something. I have been on this journey of pursuing my life's mission I've always been a hustler. I've always been I'm going to get it. I've always been driven. There's nothing in my life that I really haven't wanted, that I haven't achieved. God bless. That's the grace of God. I won't take credit for that. But I've been on this journey of come hell or high water, I'm going to achieve my dreams, not the ones people think I should achieve, for the last 4 years. And I noticed that what happens is we slowly, gracefully bow out. And we just stop and we just let life happen and let life start just happening to us instead of for us, instead of aggressively going after our dreams. And then we all on the trains in the morning upset, oh, it's Monday, praising because it's Friday, and lamenting because it's Monday, when we have the capacity inside of us to realize our goals. And the one thing that will help you do that is being specific. So if you say something like, all right, I know I want to make more money. Okay, so don't get mad when you see $10 more in your check next week. You said you wanted to make more money, right? But see, I know, and you know, that when you say I want to make more money, you don't mean that you want to get $10 more in your check. But when you lack specificity and you're not being specific, how can you now create the action plan to get the money that you want? So instead of saying I want to make more money, it sounds different when you say, you know, I have an income. And the reason why I'm saying it in present tense is because when you allow your goals, when you speak your goals and you write them down in present tense, it goes from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind to believe that you already achieved it. So when you have a goal of having an income of 15% more than what you're currently making, or a certain $70,000 salary per year, or a $10,000 per month income in self-employment, or in self-employment and new income and new clients for your business, that's clear. Now, once you're clear and specific, now you can do the next step, which is create the action plans to help you get there. So you know you want to make 15% more for what you're making. If you want to make $70,000 a year, and if you want to make a certain income, $10,000 a month in speaking engagements, well, if that's the amount that you want to make, now you know the action steps that you need to take in order to start making that money. So if in your industry, you know that in order for you to make that 70, 80, 90,000 years, you're going to have to go back to school to get your MBA. Well, that's an action step now that you're going to have to take to order to get to that goal of making more money. Perhaps there's a certification that you need to take. Maybe you're in an industry where you need to take certification, or you need to take some management courses, you need to take some leadership courses that are going to help you get to that goal of whatever income it is that you desire, because you're specific about it. Everybody wants to make more money, baby. Everybody wants to make more money. Ain't nobody in this world that's going to say, you know what, if God gives me an extra $1 million, I'm not going to take it. Everybody wants to make more money, and we can get into that conversation. That's a whole nother topic, but you have to decide how much more money you want to make if that's your goal. This is what I mean by being specific. So now if you want to make, if part of your goal and you're specific and you're saying, I need to make a certain amount of employment in entrepreneur income, then I'm an entrepreneur, so I have to, if I say I want a certain dollar amount, I got to come up with the marketing strategies, I got to come up with the relationships, the networking, everything I need to do to hit my sales goal, because I'm like, that's how much I want, because I'm specific about it. So you need to be specific and clear on defining what success means to you, and all your goals need to be clear. You cannot make a goal of, I want to be more healthy. Okay, what does that mean? Now you can make a goal of saying, you know what, I weigh my ideal weight of, I don't know, 130 pounds by April 1st, 2017. Again, what I did there, I didn't even get to that part, is I gave myself a deadline. That's another thing that your goals need to have. They need to have deadlines. You cannot be working, I get it. Let me tell you, God is sovereign. Because there are certain things I've been praying to the Lord for years, you know, and I know I'm on the brink of it. But like I said, you're working in partnership with God. But if you have a clear goal of weighing a certain amount of you weighing a certain weight, or you know, having a certain type of job and having a certain income, you have to give yourself a deadline. And some things are, you know, some things you okay, I get it. Some things aren't in our control, and we can't work on, and we can't predict what's in our future. But again, we don't want to be in that hamster wheel of life going nowhere, right? Moving fast, but going nowhere. So you want to make sure that you set clear action steps after you specify what it is that you want. So the whole, I want to be happy. Let me tell you, I work with so many people in goal setting and achieving goals, and motivating people to achieve goals, and workshops. That's like my thing, right? That's my zhuzh. I guess that's what people, I get it. God, that's what he called me to do. When I ask people what they want, I don't know. I heard this amazing story about this pastor who was, I think it was like Oral Roberts, one of them like OG prophet dudes, right? And and people were praying up on, like, you know, at church when you go pray on your knees at the altar, and he was asking people like, what are you praying for? And everybody was like, oh, nothing much. And he was like, well, that's exactly what you're gonna get. That's another point. When you get specific about what you want, and now I'm not telling to go to Jesus and tell him how to do it, you know, do it within the next 15 minutes. No, he might, you know, because he's awesome like that, but he might not. But now when you're even specific with what you want, you can go to God and get specific about it and say, Father, I want to make this much money. Let me tell you, you can't go to God and just be like, oh, Father, bless me. Oh, Father, I just want to make money. No, get to God and go and be specific about it. God knows what the numbers I'm asking for. And I asked for a certain number of a certain income by a certain age and a certain net worth. And I am believing him for that, because he says you have not because you ask not. You know, God is not sitting there like, oh, I want to bless you and I'm holding you back, but you're in partnership with God. So that's another thing, a benefit about being specific. It enlists God's supernatural power to work on your behalf, because you can say, you know what, Father, I really want to make an income of, let's say you want to make an income of $100,000 a month, right? $100,000. Oh, let's say $100,000 a month. Hallelujah. Won't he do it? Let's think big. But let's say you wanted to make an income of $100,000 a year, right? Now, the only reason God may not answer that prayer is because he knows that you're going to trust the money more than you trust him. And it's not that he won't give it to you, but he'll give it to you in his time until you learn that your source is him and not the job. That was like my first lesson. That's just an extra free thing. But if God knows that you want to make $100,000 a year so that you can afford, I don't know, to send your kids to college, to get out of debt, to pay off all your, pay off your house, pay off your car, and you're like, Father, this is why I want to make $100,000 a year, so I can save, so I can give, so I can do that. You think God is going to be like, no, I'm not going to help John out. I'm not going to help, Keisha out. No, you get what I mean? Like you would help your kid. If your kid says, Ma, Dad, can I have $100? You're going to be like, for what? But if they say, you know what, I need to pay $40 for the uniform, $20 for lunch, and another $40 for my phone bill, you're going to be like, here, take the $100. See, so when you're specific about what you need, and you can now create the action plan together, get there, and also enlist God's power, which is a specific thing. If you say I'm in debt, if you're in debt, right? Shout out to all of us who got student loan debt. Right? I know to the T how much student loan debt I have, because I've calculated it up, and I've gone and I'm like, all right, this is my plan to pay it. Father, I need your help, because he's sovereign, so he can knock that out in 24 hours. But if you want to be financially free, if that's part of what your success is to you, then find out how much you owe. Call the creditors and say, all right, maybe you owe $3,000 to American Express, maybe you owe, I don't know, $10,000 to Sally Mae, who's now Navy, and maybe you owe, I don't know, maybe your car is maybe you owe another $5,000. I don't know. Now you can get specific and say, all right, you add up all the numbers and you say, all right, I don't know how much that is, but let's say it's $22,000 in debt. Now you're like, all right, cool. I know I want to be debt free. I'm going to now create my action plan to get there. This is another thing that being specific does in your success recipe, right? You now know how to spend your time, and you can be focused. And this is what I mean. So if you have that thing, if part of your success, if part of being successful to you means getting out of debt and being financially free and being specific about it, I am debt free, $23,000 of my debt is paid off, then this is how you know your next action steps. You know how you should be spending your time to the week. When your homegirls call you and say, hey girl, we got a special to go to Dubai in April, and it's only gonna cost like $2,000. You know your goal. Your goal is to get out of debt. You know that trip is going to put you in more debt, so now you can say no. Or if you know that you want to save 15% of your income a week, again, we're getting specific. Not I want to spend money, not I want to save money. I want to be more financially free. Set a goal. Okay, I'm going to save 15% of my monthly salary. If you get paid the 1st and the 15th, and every time you get paid there's a certain number, you take out that 15% first and you put it in a high yield savings account. And the next thing that you do is that you make a plan to say, all right, I know I spend at least $15 a day on food. So 3 days out the week, you know that you should be packing lunch. That means you should be coming home early. You should go to Trader Joe's. Shout out to Trader Joe's. You know what I mean? Pack, buy some healthy foods, buy some things, and now you can pack your lunch 3 times a week. This is the power of being specific about what you want. And the thing that being specific does, it helps you measure your goals. You cannot make a goal of saving money, of making more money, of losing weight, of being happy. That's another one. Can we get that off our goals list? That is not a goal. Being happy is not a goal. It is a wish. It is not a goal. And being happy is a choice. That's a whole nother video that we can do. But you cannot set goals like, oh, I want to be successful. Oh, I want to make money. Oh, I want to be happy. Oh, I want to be financially free. And you cannot measure them. How are you going to measure being successful? How are you going to measure being healthy? But you can measure, you know what? I'm going to try a vegan diet for 2 months. Shout out to the vegans. Y'all are amazing. Because I'm like, I need me a piece of bacon. But I'm going to try a vegan diet for the next 30 to 60 days. These are all little tricks that we don't know how to apply because they're not teaching us. And then we end up on the hamster wheel of life if we're not applying, if we're not saying, okay, I'm going to be healthy, but you know what? That's not clear. That's not crispy enough. That's not a crisp goal. You know what? So I'm going to lose 20 pounds within the next 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. Okay, so now when you're clear on your goals, you know how to focus your time. I love telling people about this story about Richard Branson. And if you guys aren't familiar about Richard Branson, he is Mr. Virgin, Virgin America, Virgin Airlines. Like, he is probably he's one of the wealthiest people in the world, incredible entrepreneur. So there was this dude who was trying to get Richard Branson to come speak at like a conference, right? So he was like, all right, he called Richard Branson's office and he was like, okay, we'll give him $100,000 for an hour of his time. So Richard Branson's office declined. And they were like, no, he's just not available. And then the dude came back with another. This is a true story. The dude came back with another offer. He was like, all right, we'll give him $250,000 for an hour of his time. And I think we'll have a jet come and get him, and we'll have car service get him to and from the jet. We just need him an hour for his time. So the Richard Branson's office came back and they were like, no, Mr. Branson has politely declined. And then the dude came back a third time. He was like, what will it take? We'll pay $500,000. Like, what will it take to get him to come speak at our conference? Well, Richard Branson's office responded and said, Mr. Branson has other priorities on his calendar right now, and unfortunately speaking engagements are not one of them. Now, do you understand how laser sharp focused that man was? That he knew his goals. He knew what he needed to be paying attention on. He had specific goals, and his time needed to be spent according to those goals. Your time is the most valuable asset that you have. It is not your money, it is your time. You can I don't care. I could lose, $100,000 and make that back. I can't get 10 years back of my life. I can't get 5 years. I can't get a day back of my life. Your time is the most valuable asset that you have. So Richard Branson was so clear on what his goal, he was so specific on what he needed to do that he knew certain things on his calendar he just didn't have time for. This is what I mean when you are clear and specific about what you need to be doing. You know how to manage your time. If you're going back to school and you know that you have a paper due on Monday, when they call you on Friday night, talk about let's go to happy hour, no. You got to be disciplined. You got to be diligent. You get what I mean? There's a lot of people out here who would love to be successful and make it happen, but these are the little key missing ingredients that they don't talk about, okay? So another thing that you can do when you are specific and you're getting your ingredients of success, we know that being specific is the main ingredient that we're all missing, is this. Get an image, and that's why I'm sitting in front of one of my vision boards. I have several. Get an image of what your, okay, I'm going to share a story about this woman. It's a picture of me sitting next to a woman I admire. And I have reached out to her office. I'm not going to tell her name because I'm going to leave that as a surprise because she's somebody I admire. I reached out to her office for her to work on a few of my company's, just a certain project that I'm working on. And they reached back out and they were like, you know, she would love to do it. And I was like, holy moly, you know? So, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now let's just figure out the date and let's just make that happen. I can't believe that happened. And there's another picture on one of my other vision boards, and it's a picture from a woman that I saw in a documentary, and she was featured in a documentary. She's one of my Facebook friends now too, but I saw her in a documentary in this amazing documentary called Half the Sky, about women being trafficked all over the world, and she has this incredible organization in India. And I was so inspired by her because she's like this powerful, like, you know, take nothing from nobody Indian woman, really doing amazing things in India. And I put her picture on my vision board. This was back in like October of 2013. And I told myself, you know what, one day I'm going to meet that woman. Like, and let me tell y'all, like a few weeks later, it's like, how many miles from New York, India? Maybe like 1,000,000,000. I walk into this event. I wasn't even going to go to this event. And something made me go. And I go and I see from the corner of my eyes, I look and I'm like, that is not her. I ran up to her. You would have thought I was meeting Oprah. I ran up to her and I was like, excuse me, is your name, were you featured? And she was like, yes. I said, oh my gosh, your face is on my vision board. I told myself that one day I would meet you. And that happened like literally weeks after I put her face on my vision board. There's like 1,000,000,000,000 miles, an ocean and countries between us. And it just so happened that God put us in the same room in New York, in the city, on the same night. And now me and her have an incredible relationship, and we reach out to one another, and she is someone who supports me and I support her. And I'm like, wow, look at the power of a vision. So you want to be specific about your vision. So if you have a house that you are believing for, let me tell y'all, go get the picture of the house. Let me tell you something I do. I'm legit, and anybody who knows me knows the new. I will walk around neighborhoods. I will be the crazy little black girl with the blonde hair walking around the neighborhoods, and I just talk and I just say, you know what, Father, I know one day I'm gonna live here. I take pictures of buildings. Some of them there's some property I'm looking to own in certain parts of Brooklyn. There's certain things I do, and I sit and I literally just walk around, take pictures, and I either keep them on my phone or I print them out and put them on my vision board because I want to be crystal clear on what I'm believing God to do. There's a scripture verse that says, where there is no vision, the people perish. You gotta have some sort of vision. And even God told Abraham, when God told Abraham this, look up. Because the number, this is my version. I know I always say this is Maria version because you got to go and check it for yourself. But in Genesis, I believe it's either Genesis 12 or Genesis 18. But anyway, he gives Abraham the promise and he says, look up. The number of stars in the sky is how, pretty much he says, all them stars in the sky, those is going to represent, you are going to be the father of many nations. What did he say, the father of many nations? But pretty much you're going to be the father. Like, I am going to give you this many, not children, but you're going to be the father of many nations, because God wanted him to look at something. He wanted him to visualize something. So he gave him an image of the stars in the sky. Wow. So God the Father approves of us of having visions, of having dreams, and saying, Father, this is what I want. If you want a certain house, if you want a certain car, if you want a certain, I don't even, ladies, if there's a certain type of man that you want, like start getting specific and start asking God and start making your plans to achieve those dreams and those goals that you want to achieve. But you got to get clear. You got to get specific about it. I told myself, listen, I am very driven. Like, if there's one thing I am besides slightly crazy is and full of love, is that I'm very driven. And there's pictures of international girls on my vision board in this year. Like, I have had an international outreach in countries like Pakistan, in South Africa, in Australia, and I'm like, holy schmoly, this stuff works, you know? So I'm just here to encourage you and let you know that you got to get specific about your dreams. You got to get specific about your goals, and you want to create an action plan to get there. You want to get images of what those goals and those dreams. If you got an image, a vision, or a dream to go back to school, and maybe you want to go get your MBA at Harvard, print out a picture of Harvard's campus, superimpose a picture of yourself on that campus. I got a picture of me sitting next to Oprah. And I am like, at this moment, I'm like 1 degree away from Oprah in different relationships. And I'm like, Father, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I know we're going to sit in the same room one day. We are too close to one another. But that's how specific I am with what I'm trying to achieve. So I just want to encourage you that to get specific, to really manage your time and focus on your goals. We don't got time for the BS. If you and learn how to manage all those distractions that are going to come your way. It's going to be a lot of stuff to distract you once you say, all right, I'm going to get specific and all this other jazz. Don't wait until January 1st to start setting your 2017 goals. I already set my December goals. I already set my 2017 goals back in like a few months ago, but that's because I did like I like setting goals between the next 12 to 16 months. So some of them fell into my 2017 goals, but part of my action steps this week is to set my 2017 going into 2018 goals. And it'll change if I feel like, I need to go a different direction, but I need to have something that's going to manage my time and get clear and specific about it, all right? So if you like what you see and you're like, but Maria, I need extra help, I got you. You can go to my website, embraceherlegacy.com/slay goals. And I actually have a new audio lesson that I just recorded a few weeks ago, which really it's 7 steps to achieve your goals. And I go into this a lot more in depth, a lot more detail. So you can download it, listen to it over again and again and again and again. And you can take notes. And again, it's embraceherlegacy.com/slay goals. And I also have a free guide that you can get at embraceherlegacy.com/5-step plan. The word 5, not the number 5. So embraceherlegacy.com 5-step plan. In order to, if you want a free guide that I have, it's 5 steps to birthing your dreams, to also help you get a little bit more crisp and clear on what success means to you, different exercises, different strategies that you can do. I cover that in both the lesson and in the guide, where you can download, listen to, and the guide you can just read over, and you can just really sit down with yourself and define what success means to you, because a lot of us don't even know what we want, and that's okay. You just got to learn how to ask yourself the right questions so that you can really determine what you want and not what everybody else is telling you to get and what success means to them. All right. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Maria Melendez, and you can find out more about me and what I do at embraceherlegacy.com. Happy New Method Monday. Later.